Peace. What's up, everybody? Today I want to do a review of the new Coming to America sequel. I know a lot of people have seen it. A lot of people probably already have seen some reviews about the movie, but I have my own thoughts and my own opinions, and I don't want to say that the movie was totally bad, but of course it couldn't live up to the greatness that the first Coming to America movie was, and we all have fond memories of the first Coming to America movie. But first, starting off, this movie was directed by Craig Brewer. Uh, and I think he directed a few movies that you might remember. He did direct Hustle and Flow, which was one of the more known movies that he has directed in the past. And that movie was good. But it was, of course, a stereotypical movie. And this movie, it just does not live up to the billing of the first Coming to America. Just starting off, this movie seemed more like a parody, more like kind of like a sketch comedy to me. It was very over the top, and if you remember anything about the first Coming to America movie, that movie, it was subtle. It had nuance to it. The way that the movie moved, the movie, it was a comedy that was set in a serious world or in the real world, like Queens, New York, or whatever the time was, back then. The movie was set in the real world. But the comedy, the movie itself, it took itself serious as a comedy, and that's what made the movie itself funny. Um, if you remember, at the palace in the first movie, just the regal nature of the family, and even though there was a lot of silly things happening as far as, the woman who Eddie had told to bark like a dog, Vanessa Bell Calloway, who actually made a cameo in this movie, and it was silly to me, like they still had her barking like a dog, like she was barking for 30 years from the first movie. And to me, it just seemed like they didn't take the audience serious. They almost insulted the intelligence of the audience because, of course, they know that a lot of people who are watching this movie weren't around for the first movie. Some people probably have never even seen the first movie who are watching this Coming to America sequel. They're probably going back watching it now. But the first movie seemed more like it was set in a serious natured world. And this one, of course, is PG-13. The first movie was rated R, so they were able to get away with a lot more things. And this movie right here, it came off as a sketch or almost like a caricature of Coming to America. The movie, it did have some good moments, things that I did like about the movie. The visual nature of the movie was beautiful. All the costumes, I like seeing the fezzes on the people, a lot of African garb and things like that. So it did come off well visually, but pretty much the whole entire movie was set inside the palace, which is Rick Ross's house, the rapper Rick Ross. So a lot of the movie was set in there. They did go back to New York a couple times and show that. But overall, it seemed like the movie was just very heavy-handed when it came to the comedy. I don't know who, a lot of the writers were that came up with a lot of the scenarios. I did hear that Ryan Coogler wanted to be involved with directing this movie, but he was cut out of that in favor of Craig Brewer. A lot of people look at this as an overall black success, a great black movie to a certain extent. And it is, because it did give a lot of black people jobs. That I think they filmed this movie in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. So a lot of people did get jobs, but I think they gave too many people jobs. Everybody from Rick Ross to Tiana Taylor to Morgan Freeman to, the list goes on and on to where, I'm surprised that the group Cameo didn't make an appearance in the movie as a cameo itself. They even brought back the twins who were rapping at the club when Akeem and Simi went to the club looking for dates in the first movie. So it's like they kind of overdid it with trying to bring everybody back. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, where's Daryl? Why they didn't bring Daryl back if they're gonna bring back everybody? The guy from the Soul Glow with the illustrious Jerry curl. I wanted to see Daryl and what happened with that. It would have been funny to me to see Daryl and he's bald now, or he kind of, he got the peninsula or something like that with the hair around here, and he's trying to hold on to what little he has left as far as hair goes. Because it's like they did a lot of rehashing old jokes and old material. The barbershop guys, how old would they have to be still be around to still be cracking jokes talking about boxing in the barbershop. I mean, these guys were probably 60, 70, 80 years old back in 1988 when this original movie was filmed. So right now, with it being 30 years later, how are they even still alive? My favorite character in the barbershop is the character that Arsenio played, the dark-skinned guy with the beard that's always eating a chicken wing. I love that dude. He's hilarious. I feel like they could have just made a movie off the barbershop guys. One thing that I did like about the movie, or a few things that I liked about the movie, I like Wesley Snipes' character. Wesley Snipes is one of my favorite actors of all time, so he does bring a lot, to the screen. He bounces off the screen, but it was too many dance scenes. Every scene it was almost like a musical, the way that the movie flowed. I mean, you got scene to scene, and then we're going to have another dance scene, music scene. Scene, another dance scene, and music scene. It was just too much of that to the point where I could not take the movie serious. No nuance in the movie whatsoever. It was just too over the top, too much forced, heavy-handed comedy. A few things about the movie. Another thing I want to address is I feel like there was an agenda being pushed in the movie. I understand there is a lot of the Me Too generation and a lot going on as far as gender equality and things like that. And I'm not, a male chauvinist by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a point in the movie where they wanted to address women being able to be in power, and this was never the case in Zamunda. It was always passed down through the male lineage, and this was something that they wanted to change, and to change the direction of the way that the kingship or queenship should be handed down. And I do understand that to a certain extent, but why go through all this looking for a male heir to hand the throne down to, when at the end of the movie, you don't even hand the throne down to the male heir. You hand it down to your daughter, which you could have done in the first place, and without going through all this drama. When they found the son, there was no vetting. I met this woman on a one-night stand 30 years ago, had a fling. Now she has my son. I believe it's my son. We don't do a DNA test. They don't even question who I am. She barely remembers who I am and say, oh yeah, that is you. Yeah, this is your son. It's like they didn't take the audience serious at all. Randy Watson, one of my favorite characters of all time. Love seeing Randy Watson make a return back to the screen. Randy got on the screen looking every bit of the Rasputia side of the game, though. I understand it's been 30 years. Randy's gained some weight, but he had the same Rasputia look right here in the grill. If you watch the movie, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Overall, like I said, the movie was okay. I'm going to give this movie probably about 5 out of 10 stars. That's as far as I can go with it. I tried to watch it again, couldn't get through it. I do love Eddie Murphy as a comedian and as a comedic actor. Arsenio Hall, he's always been, good for some like character comedies. He's not so much a good stand-up guy to me, but you put Arsenio in a character setting in a movie, he's gonna hit it out the park. So I did like seeing him as the Reverend in the movie once again, making a return. So like I said, this was more like a Coming to America family reunion more than an actual sequel. Did have some good points, but it was more missed than hit. So with that being said, check the movie out. Leave your comments on how you felt about the movie down below. And this is my first movie review. I just got this out there because it was so much talk about the movie, and I had some of my own thoughts and opinions in regards to the movie. And I will be bringing some more movie reviews and series reviews here in the future when we do have time to get that accomplished. But I do want to thank you for watching this review, and leave your comments down below on how you felt about the movie. My name is Reese Selassie. Peace.